Hello everyone, my name is Zachary as always, and today we are discovering Loki Season 2, Episode 2, down from Easter eggs all the way down to the general breakdown of the episode. Now, let's start off. We start off this episode in 1977, and now, we didn't get any setup for this. All we know is that they're looking for Sylvia. If you don't know who that is, that's Girl Loki. So, they're not in 1977, but they're looking for this other guy named Brad Wolf. He's a jerkwad narcissist who used to be a hunter and who used to work the TVA, but he ran off to run his own life. Now, I should mention in this episode, Loki, it's nothing like what he did in the other Marvel movies. But in this episode, we kind of see him go into his darker side, more or less. I say more or less because of later, so I'm just going to kind of let you decide. But when they're interrogating Brad, they have a script. And Brad drives them crazy. Now, when I say he drives them crazy, I don't really mean crazy. I just mean it drives, but they're not a big fan of Brad because he's an asshole jerk. Mobius ends up punching him, so that's how you know it's bad, because Mobius is just not that kind of guy. Loki, on the other hand, well, we saw what he did in New York. Yeah. And so Loki goes in there, and there's this machine, right? They interrogate Brad, and there's a remote to that machine that does all these things, like can put something inside of a cube, can shrink items, people, whatever. And in this interrogation scene, for a second there, I did think Loki was actually going to do something to him. But then I thought about it logically, and was like, no, because, no, he can't, because if he did, he's not going to get any answers, and it's not like they can go back, and plus, if they killed him, the entire rest of the episode wouldn't even happen. It would just end here, and the TVA would be in a worse spot than it is at the end of the episode. Spoilers. So yeah, he eventually gives answers. And remember the post-credit scene from the first episode? Yeah, I'm surprised. I would be surprised if he actually did. It's the one where Sylvia went to McDonald's. Oh yeah, she's working there now. And also, so when they go back to this McDonald's ad of a part, they talk, and Sylvia's like, I'm not helping you, I'm done. But then Mobius and Loki and Brad, they're like, oh yeah, the multiple branches are being bombed, and we're all gonna die. So Sylvia's like, oh yeah, we need to stop that. But only this once. But what Sylvia doesn't understand is that this is not her canon event yet. We're only 2 episodes in, my guy. There's 6 episodes in this season. 6 to 8 episodes. I'm not sure which one. So they go out, and we figure out that one of the people from the war room in the first episode has gone rogue and is trying to bomb the other branches and just completely delete them, killing multi-Googleplexes of people and animals. Because you gotta think about it, these timelines go on forever. A timeline from start to finish over billions of years. So you gotta imagine how many people before they were born are just dead. It's crazy. We weren't able to stop all of them, but we got the but they got the TVA. And then we figured out an interesting ability that two Lokis have that without this show we would really never see, because when two Lokis, Sylvia and, well, the MCU Loki, that's just what I'm gonna call him, they hold hands, they can join their power together, creates a massive green burst, a powerful burst that sends people flying. It's really cool. I mean, I hope they use it to greater effect later in the show. And I also wouldn't mind if they don't use it again at all. But yeah. So, but then, there's this little scene that I kind of feel like was messed up, because they're looking at the screen, seeing the branches slowly disintegrate, but only a chunk of them. And this doesn't even really do anything, because they're just gonna go, new timelines are just gonna go back. And that's where I said it killed most like Googleplexes of people and animals. But then Casey, he's like, oh yeah, we found something on Renslayer's pad. I'm kind of confused. Well, not really confused. It just kind of puts me off how like this moment happens, and then they have to use Casey as exposition to go to this, which is kind of like a joke. It's like, guys, we found something on Renslayer. It's like, they could have done that a different way. Like have some time pass and then they find something. Like have a day or like a few hours go past. But I don't know. I guess that's just what they wanted to do. So we end this episode off with them finding something on Renslayer. If you don't remember who Renslayer is, she was the court lady from the first season, and she kind of went batshit crazy towards the end, and started like killing people, like lots and lots of people. Even tried killing Loki, which is a giant no-no in our book. But guess what we also figure out? OB figures out that the TVA is done without Miss Minutes, because the door that was opened in the first episode that Mobius went through in that giant spacesuit, yeah, that door is locked shut, and it can't be opened without Miss Minutes. Miss Minutes is rogue with Renslayer. You can imagine why this is a gigantic issue. But I kind of feel like the show forgot about it, like, mid-episode, because this was kind of at the beginning. But yeah. I also just wanted to cover how Loki really puts his skills of intimidation and interrogation into use. Kind of how in the original Avengers, when he's inside of the cell in the helicarrier, he taunts Black Widow. I kind of got the same feeling that I got in that sequence in the one where he was interrogating Brad in this episode. So yeah, guys, there's a lot to cover in this episode. If you all enjoyed this video or any of my other content, please consider subscribing. It's always your choice. And I will see you in the next one. Goodbye. I'll see you soon.